What's crappin'? Stop yapping and build some shit. I am Cordell Rufus III. So, check this out. I wanted to give you guys a little quick tip for making the inside of your car look OEM. Obviously, we will not be utilizing any of the cruise control functions. They actually haven't been utilized in this car for a long time because it used to be supercharged, so the cruise control went out the window anyway. But what we can use this for, and it's in the perfect location for it, is we can use this as a momentary switch for the anti-lag on the Haltech Elite. So you just need a normal momentary switch for that. And since this is right behind the steering wheel, you can just hit it without ever taking your hands off the steering wheel. So all I did was, if you look at this, this is the plug for the cruise control. And I've already isolated these wires out, but if you ohm check this first terminal and the second terminal, they'll read 1, and then when you pull that back, they'll connect, which you can check on your voltmeter. If you set your voltmeter to ohms, which it is, just normal 20k ohms, when these aren't touching, and then when they are touching, you will get a reading. It will go down to 0. So that's kind of how you check whether you're bridging connections. I'm using just a normal ohm voltmeter. So we figured out that these two wires are the ones that are bridged when you pull back on the cruise control. So all we're going to do is Wiring Specialties will have a lead out of the ECU for the signal for whatever you want. And I believe we can program that to a ground or a 12 volt. So in this case, we'll be just grounding out. You're just going to ground out one of these sides. And then the other side will go to the ECU. And then when we pull back the cruise control as we're driving, we'll pull back the cruise control as we're driving, the signal to the ECU will go grounded, and that will signal the ECU to go into anti-lag mode, and then we can just let go of it, and it'll discharge the anti-lag, and we can just take off from there. So it's a pretty cool, neat little trick you can figure out just with some normal stuff that's already in your car that already has similar functions that you're probably not using. The other option was to obviously mount a button on the steering wheel, but it just kind of looks like shit, or mount a button by the shifter, which I don't like to do because then one hand is off the wheel. But yeah, it's just one of those little simple things that, you know, down the road when people see it, they're like, oh my God, that's a great idea. That's super cool. But in reality, it took you, 5 minutes of grabbing the voltmeter and just figuring out the wiring on that thing. You're not using it anyway. So it's pretty cool when you get to utilize something that's already there and you get to change the function of it and make everything look really clean inside your E36. So as you can see, this car is very well taken care of. It's fully restored and you guys have already seen it. The whole interior is still inside the car. Even though we have all those fuel pumps and everything inside. The seats are a little dirty because I've been climbing all over them, doing stuff down under the dash. I have the underside of the dash apart because we still need to hook up when we get the harness, we need to hook up the Haltech rotary switch. And we'll keep moving forward from there. But pretty cool, one of those neat things you can do, and we'll see how this works down the road. So we can run a quick test on our little setup. So we got one side of this ran to ground right here on the dash mounts, and those go straight to the chassis. And then we have the other side going to just a normal blue signal wire that will connect to the ECU when the harness gets here. But we can do just a quick test real quick. So we'll hold the, let's see. Sorry guys. So we'll stick this on ground. So this will go into the fitting. So we'll see if we can get that to stay. It probably won't, but there we go. That'll work for what we're doing. So that's on ground, and then we're going to watch this. This is hard to do. we're going to check this out. Turn the light on. So we're at 1.0 right now because we're not connected. So we can stick the... This is really hard to do with holding camera. So we'll stick this on the other side of the voltmeter. So we're still at 1.0. And then now as we toggle the cruise control back, like we were triggering anti-lag, we're going down. So I'll try to get them both in the same shot. So we're back to 1.0. Now we're grounded. 1.0. Now we're grounded. So we'll be able to use this as a switch for the anti-lag, as a momentary switch. Should be pretty cool, and should look super OEM. Pretty awesome. I'm excited about that.